One of the things I love about Montclair is that we've got people from all over the world. In my experience, there's no better way to get to know someone than eating the food that brings them home. So let's cook up special dishes with the people that make up the fabric of our campus.
Cooking with Koppell, Season 3, Episode 1, Take 1.
Hi, my name is Erika Bush, and I'm the Director of Learning and Development in the Division of Human Resources at Montclair State University. So what led me to Montclair was my 12-year teaching career at Parsons School for Design, and I also taught in the Department of Art and Design at Montclair. In 2014, I decided to go back to corporate. Along the way, I realized that higher ed is the place for me, so I came back in an administrative role. Not only do I do administrative work, but I also still teach. I get to teach the employees of Montclair in the Division of Learning and Development. So today I'm cooking Palacsinta, which is the Hungarian version of what most people know of as crepes. The reason why I chose this dish was because it really brings me back to my great memories of spending my summers in Hungary with my cousins and my grandparents. I can't wait to taste how this turns out.
Erika, I'm particularly excited because what we're cooking today is described as Hungarian, but what you don't know is that I'm significantly Hungarian.
Are you?
I am. And what I realized, especially when I went to Budapest, was people looked at me and just assumed I was Hungarian and would talk to me. What are we going to cook that to you says Hungarian food?
Okay, so many people know what we're about to make, it's called Palacsinta in Hungary, as crepes. But the texture's a little bit thicker than your typical crepe,
okay.
And the way that we present it and eat it is a little bit different as well.
We'll get to that
so
part.
We'll get to that part.
Don't ruin it.
I don't want to ruin it. I won't ruin it. But basically, I mean, it is a universal dish.
Okay.
All right, let's get started. So basically, we're going to make our batter. Let's start with the egg and the
Okay.
sugar. We're going to put a little salt in here. So
Right.
I'm gonna ask you if I could just give you a little bit of pinch of salt. You can throw
That's
that.
my kind of cooking. You just
That's
like
right
a
there.
little bit of
Just
salt.
a little bit of salt.
Right.
And then what we're going to start doing right now is we're going to actually just only take 1 cup of the milk. So if we could just,
I got it.
I'll hold this for you,
right.
and then you could just tilt that a little bit, and then we'll put the rest of it, and then we're going to start mixing.
So you're here and you're doing a great job starting up our learning and development
Yeah,
unit.
reigniting it, I say.
Okay, reigniting.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that this isn't your first run at Montclair.
It
So
is not.
tell me a little bit about when you were on the faculty.
All right, so I started actually my higher ed journey at the New School University. I was
Okay.
there from 2002 to 2014. I was working at Parsons School for Design. In that time, I came to Montclair to teach textile and apparel industry.
Okay.
So that's how I started this journey.
Sure.
Let's put this, you can put all that flour
All
in,
of it,
all
okay.
all of it in there. And then the secret here is the seltzer. So we're going to put a little seltzer in here while you're doing that on low to give it some fluff.
All right. Since we're making Hungarian crepes, talk a little bit about your family background.
So I'm a first-generation American, also
Okay.
first-generation college graduate in my family. My dad came out in 1968, and then my mom followed in 69. And then after my parents came out, shortly after they had my sister, and then 5 years later, me.
So have you remained connected to Hungarian culture
Absolutely.
aside from cooking the occasional
Absolutely.
dish?
I grew up in the Hungarian community. Every Saturday, Hungarian school, I read, write, speak fluent Hungarian. Sometimes people tell me my Hungarian's better than my sister's, which she gets a little upset about.
Hungarian is really hard.
That ladle over there is
Yeah.
what you're going to be using, and then also we're going to bring the oil over to here in front of you. So the ladle and the oil. And what we're going to do is oil our pan first and foremost. The key here is to be very quick. And then the ladle should be filled up no more than 3/4 of the way because it'll get too thick then. And then we just lay it out and we zhuzh.
Zhuzh
Zhuzh.
is the technical term.
Zhuzh is the technical term. And we get this nice and thin and even, and then we put it right back on the burner. And that's about 30 seconds worth of time here that we're gonna do. So the key here is to grab our spatula, thin spatula, and just kind of remove it from the sides over here and take a peek. See, mine's already ready. I'm flipping it over and look at that. It's beautiful.
Our staff, they're trying to learn too, right? We think of universities as about a place where students learn.
Yes.
But your job is to make sure that staff has the opportunity to learn and grow too. So why is that important from a HR point of view? Because people would have heard what you said and said, well, that's not HR. HR is like processing forms and hiring.
Not really.
What does that have to do with learning?
I think, of course I'm biased, but I think it has everything to do with HR and what we do as employees here, how we approach our roles and just understanding ourselves better. It's all about self-awareness. I'm very passionate about the work that we're doing because we're collaborating with people and we're creating a sense of community. That's what this is about. It's really the bigger picture. It's not just let's check the box and do something for performance management purposes because my boss told me to, but to really truly do this and grow from it. So it's okay. All right, stop it. Mic drop. That was very good. That was really good. You can bring your plate that you made. Phenomenal job here. And so yes, as I was saying earlier, this could be savory or sweet. We're going to go the sweet route. The savory, there's also palacsintas that have meat in it with the chicken paprika sauce.
I would say
you might have had. It's called hortobadi palacsinta.
That's what I said when I first looked at it. I'm like, where's the paprika?
Yeah, well, we could do that maybe. That'll be part 2.
Okay.
But right now we're going to make the dessert version,
okay.
Which we oftentimes, like I said, have after we have a nice gouache, lavash gouache soup. So what we'll do is we'll make the apricot jam and cocoa version, and then we'll do a cocoa, and then we'll do a cocoa and strawberry. So we'll make 3 different ones, and then after we do that, we'll put it on our plate over here, and then that'll be ready to go. So we'll just start with the jam. What we do is we just go down the middle. So you don't want to spread it on the whole thing because down the center is where the magic happens. So we're gonna sprinkle some cocoa, just sprinkle delicately, not too much, just nicely spread. Yeah, and then now we fold it in half, and then we just roll, and then we get it on our plate, and then we do the next one.
I think I can say for everybody in the room, it's time to eat.
Time to eat. Let's
go.
do it.
Okay, we're ready to eat. We moved over to the Freeman Student Lounge, so the students who are here are going to get their chance to taste our delicious meal. That's part of the bonus for us intruding on their study space. Paint a picture in your mind when you sit down to eat this delicious dessert with family or friends. Like, what does it mean to have delicious sweets?
Oh, this means we just had an amazing dinner before this of Hungarian descent here, probably some gouache, and full bellies, but still always room for this.
These crepes, what makes these crepes Hungarian? I'm like, I see eggs and flour and sugar, like that's a crepe.
It's a crepe.
But you said it's the way we eat them that makes them Hungarian.
It's the way we eat them.
Okay,
so if you're comfortable with
I'm comfortable.
we use our hands. And I know we have a fork and a knife here. You could always revert to that. And we eat it like so. Like I think, what would you say? Like a burrito.
Like a burrito, that's what I said. It's more like a burrito.
So shall we?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Yum. It's hard to go wrong with chocolate in a crepe. I want to talk, you bring up family right there. You're sitting around family. But you were talking about how one of the things you like about working here is that there is a community, a family-like atmosphere, and particularly in your group. So
yes.
What does that mean, right, on a day-to-day basis?
On a day-to-day basis, I'm being part of HR. A lot of people, when you work in HR, they're like, how is that? It's great because we are there to serve the employees. And when I say serve, I mean we're there for them to help problem solve, troubleshoot. We talk to them on the phone. They come visit us and they have real, true issues. Betty Polino in benefits, she's amazing, her and her team. Their response rate is amazing. They get back to people right away. Our payroll division as well, they're not just transactional, they've got people calling them, they're retiring. What do I do? How do I manage that? So
people don't realize that's a big part of HR is dealing with folks who are having life transitions and coaching them through those things.
Exactly. So Jason Martinello and his team, they just make it look easy, and it's really hard. And then we've also got our talent acquisition. So we keep our seats filled here, and we've got employees, wonderful employees coming on board.
what is important to you about maintaining the Hungarian connection, right? Because I think a lot of people, you know, they're a couple generations removed, but you've made a point of yourself and your kids having a connection going back frequently.
It's really just being close to our roots and understanding what it took to come here to America and really having a true value placed on that. I mean, I can't even imagine. My dad, he left everything. He had a bag and he had $20 that was rolled into a coat hanger. You know, those because you weren't allowed to come with any of that.
Right.
And he rolled a $20 bill in that, and that's how he came to America. And so when we go back, it's just so wonderful to understand the language and how my kids understand Hungarian and just the music and the culture and the folklore. It's absolutely a beautiful, beautiful place to be.
So I felt that, and just to reinforce that, I felt sort of sad that, yeah, I joke about I look a little Hungarian, but I couldn't talk to anybody, but so I didn't have that connection. So I wish.
You do have the connection, though, because
I know I look right, but it was funny actually, as you know, Hungary and Germany kind of mushed together, and I went to the area where my family was from, which is Sopron.
That's where my family is from.
Wow.
Sopron megye.
Yeah.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, Beled, Sopron, that was where maybe we're related.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Oh, that's
really?
funny.
Sopron megye, my mother's from a little village called Edve, and that's right near the Austrian border.
That's exactly where, I was there. So I went there, and I couldn't say a word, but I could speak English. And my grandmother on my father's side was German, and I actually learned a little bit of German. And so they would speak to me in German, I would speak to them in English, and we would vaguely communicate that way.
This is unbelievable.
All right, so
wow.
you'll have to teach me some Hungarian.
I am happy
since
to.
You're supposed to be about teaching and development. I'm the employee that you're going to teach Hungarian to. It's a less common part of your job. That'll have to
I'm happy to
new
teach
assignment.
You. Well, let's do lesson number 1 then.
Okay.
Before we started eating, we should have said one thing, which is jó étvágyat, which is good appetite.
Good.
Or bon appetit, as they would say in other cultures. But
jó
jó étvágyat.
Jó étvágyat.
There you go. It's in your genes, exactly. So jó étvágyat, and that's how we start out our
Well,
meal.
this is awesome. And so this is delicious, Erika. I'm super appreciative of all the great things you're doing for the University HR. And I often say people don't appreciate that there's learning and development going on for everybody. It's not just our students, it's not just faculty, it's our staff. And I'm most proud of the ways in which we create an environment for everybody to continue to grow. While they're at the university.
It's welcoming,
so it's very good.
And that's what it's all about.
That's excellent.
Yep.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching this episode of Cooking with Koppell. Tune in for another fresh take. It's coming to you soon.